clears delivery. This is Beach Sierra, Golf Mike Tango Tango at the Ottawa Flying Club with information Zulu. Would like to pick up my IFR to Saint-Hubert.
Golf Mike Tango Tango, Ottawa clearance. The route has changed, so I'll need a full read back. Just stand by and I'll get back to you.
So, as expected, we are not getting the route we thought we would get, which I knew we wouldn't get. So, alright, so we know now not to do that.
Well, now that we've got our iPad opened, let's go ahead, jump into FltPlan. Normally I start out, I come in, it opens on the airport's page. I got CYOW, it's my favorite airport. And since today we are going to be filing an IFR flight for the morning, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to the download section first. And we're going to make sure that everything, CFS, all of our planning restrictions, all of our maps, everything is up to date. We're going to check all procedures, they're up to date. And we are going to check that we have all of our maps and sectionals and everything's up to date. So that looks great. Today, what we're going to be filing is IFR from YOW to YHU, so over to Saint-Hubert. We are going to jump to the CFS preferred IFR routes. And this is effective May 2020 to July 2020, so this is the active one. And now when we jump over to page 33, we find our CYHU. Oh, there it is. CYHU, altitude high, arrival from CYOW. RNAV is Codex, Epmok, Talno, Nappy. But that's a high, not a low. So there isn't really a preferred route in the low. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to look at things, figure it out, and then we'll see how. What's nice about FltPlan is because it does a lot of this flight planning and flight filing, we're also going to see how it decides to present us with the options when we actually go to file. But it's a lot of fun to be able to do this from the iPad. So we're going to go to the maps. And since today's flight is going to be IFR, we're going to go to layers, and we're going to change away from my terminal / sectionals, and we're going to jump over to the Victor load charts. So we can see the options for how we want to get over there. So Saint-Hubert is off the T614, but there's no actual real intersection near it. So I'm going to try something and we're going to see if it's going to allow it. So we're going to depart CYOW, and I guess what we're going to go with is, even if we looked at the T733, that really doesn't get us there. I mean, we could take it, but we don't really have an intersection. There's the T737, but again, that goes further away. So it's kind of got to, I guess, figure this out on our own, how we're going to do it. So I'm going to go with, let's assume we'll get lucky and we'll get what we think we can file. So I'm going to go with the T614. And instead of putting in the route, it's probably just easier. Just drag, drop, and we will go Savix. And then what we'll do, we'll see if we can stay on this and see if just by putting in latitude and longitude on the route. We'll see if this ends up getting accepted. There's a good chance when we go to pick up our clearance, they'll change it. High chance. Alternatively, there's also a good chance that when we get to the filing stage, it's going to present us with a route that others have filed and will work. So that'll be kind of fun. But for now, let's just go with this as what I think. Terrible thinking. But what we think this is going to do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to save that. I'm going to again click on that edit button, and now I have a save and file. So we're going to save. We'll go via the web, get this out of the way for you. And so it's got me and my username, and of course all the information. Now because I want to go IFR, we'll go ICAO. The date, well, it's going to be tomorrow. We are going to use Golf Mike Tango Tango. We're going to depart CY, and we are going to create the flight plan. So let's go ahead and see what we see now. All right. So I will be the pilot in command. I will be the only person. We definitely will not go up to 9,000. We will put in for 7,000. Now, obviously, the best thing to do is look at the GFA, see about the clouds. The cloud layer is actually going to be between 4,000 and 6,000. So filing 7,000 is to climb on top of it. The fact is, still looking at the TAF, this for tomorrow, it's still a ways away. So I probably will have to check it before starting up and see where the cloud layers really are. If we can get above it, then we'll go to 7,000. If it's still too high, then I guess we'll stay below it instead of flying through it. It's going to be pretty windy anyway. But that's the cool part. We get to find out once we see what things are like in the morning. So we'll say we're going to be at 7,000. We're going to go with 125 knots true airspeed is our standard. Estimated time of departure. Well, we're planning to depart around 0630. And they do actually have you put in your local time, not Zulu time. So that's good to know. So you can have estimated time of departure or estimated time of arrival, and then it'll back it up. But we want estimated time of departure, 0630. We will have 5 hours of fuel on board. We're only going to have one soul on board. Alternate. We are going to file for CYUL. Absolutely going to file for CYUL. And look, if you go to the alternate, that's the one they suggest. Remarks. I don't have any. Here we've got our own route. Using a CFS route, they've gone with a preferred route. Even though when we looked at the CFS, we thought it's saying that we shouldn't be, this is telling us that these are routes that have been filed and have been accepted. So that's kind of cool. Maybe better prepare so that I don't file what I thought would be okay or might go through and end up basically getting this as the assignment anyway. Who knows? Maybe they would have allowed direct Saint Hubert. We'll see. We just want to see what's going to happen when we actually pick up our clearance tomorrow. And hopefully this time I won't say as filed after they give me a complete reroute. That would be very good of me. Let's not do that again. Back to our original route just because we want to see it. So we're going to hit save and file, hit the web. And now that we are comfortable with this, we're going to do this real fast. Here we are. We're going on Friday. That's us. Still me flying, still Friday. We're going to go, as we said, we're going to aim for 7,000, but check it in the morning. We're going to do 125 true, estimated time of departure, 0630. Fuel on board is going to be 0500, so 5 hours, only one person on board. We'll hit the suggested alternate, hit it up for YUL. We're going to try our own route, even though it is telling us what the preferred route is, which is probably what we are going to get. So we're going to hit up our nav log, and now we have said nav log. 44 minutes or 48 minutes at flight level 030. So if it's an hour and a couple minutes, or an hour going the other route, the preferred route, it only adds 12 minutes, only adds a gallon of gas, whatever it is, very minimal. It won't be a big deal if we're forced to take the preferred route. I mean, that's fine. That's what this is about. That's why they have them. I get it. It's just, with the way things are right now, will they give me a more direct route that will save some time? I do not think it will be given to me. That's not what I mean by I think it's good. I think it's good for the information that's in there. So as we were saying, now we've got it. Arrival around 7:14, which would be great. Try to get there a little bit earlier. You have new nav log information. Would you like to review it? So I'm not about to file this right now, as we covered earlier. We're going to wait till the morning, check the weather again, see what altitude we may correct this to a lower altitude. So you have a new information available. You're like, do it? Yes. So this takes us to our nav log page, which is wonderful. And you can see that we've got our updated nav log available. And again, we'll be able to refresh this again in the morning and see any of the updates. So the nav log and this nav log, so we've got 14 pages of information. So we've got our nav log with our breakdown, it's got our points, it's got our frequencies. So we can see all of the winds, all the levels, the temperatures, everything nicely done for us. And we've got our weather information. So we have our METARs, our current METARs at 247 Zulu, and we've got our departure forecast. So our forecast is still showing us 6 knots soon, but we're going to start seeing that 250, 15 gusting 25 in the morning, with broken at 6,000. So yeah, and that's what we're seeing. So NOTAMs, no NOTAMs submitted in the last 12 hours. Lighting unserviceable. We've got our CYHU arrival METARs. But what we care about is the forecast. And still seeing 290, 15 gusting 25. So it will still be a quartering crosswind. So we'll be under the crosswind component. And no more NOTAMs in the last 12 hours. Runway 1028 closed, so that won't be available if we even wanted to try to use that shorter runway. Because of a crosswind, it is closed. So good to know. Taxiway Hotel is also closed. So nicely that information pops out in red. Gives us that. We see our METAR for CYUL. And 290, 15 gusting 25, so it's the similar weather. Broken 6 statute miles, broken 4,000. And then we have our alternate NOTAMs, and then associated en route NOTAMs. But it's not enough. This is a good overview, and it's great for the airports, but for the flight region, for the FIR, definitely have to go and get those off of the NOTAM site, especially the new one that Nav Canada put out. So we have to go to that for sure, and check it anyway. And we'll do that at the same time that we check the GFAs, because again, great flight planning weather resources. So we'll check those again in the morning. All right. So now that we've got our nav log, we have all that information, we are good to go. So we can see our route. It breaks it down, shows us our legs. And then obviously once we're in the air and flying, these time twos and arrivals start to update based on the data that'll be coming in from the transponder. So the transponder will feed the ADS-B data, and it will feed the GPS, and it will feed all of the performance data that we will be having. and that will then update this information. So that's kind of it. There's the EFB, the electronic flight bag for an IFR. It's really straightforward. I enjoy it a lot. I've got all the charts, I got the CFS, I have everything, and it's kept on it. I know people like other flight bags, and I'm not in an argument that there isn't amazing features in other products, especially for flight. Amazing features. I just don't need a lot of those features. I don't want a paper map. I want a digital map. So this gets me my digital map, gets me my information, and most importantly, I was already enjoying FltPlan for being able to do my flight planning and my performance data, because the plane tracks all that data. So once you've gone and set up your checklists and set up your aircraft and done all that online stuff, which I will do a video at some point just kind of running through it because it's not that hard. But once you've put that data in, then it just manages all of the flight planning. I hope this gives some more information for those who are curious about using FltPlan Go, an electronic flight bag, to be how you do filing and how easy it is and how much more data you get, and the visualization of it, right? The only thing left to do is going to be to file my weight and balance. And again, I'm going to check it tomorrow, so I'm not going to do it all right now. But essentially, you just come in, configure all that online, and then the data is here. And then you can set everything up, and you can come in, and you can. So our fuel burn is going to be 11 gallons according to the data that it said we would burn at those altitudes. So again, that's why I don't want to finish the weight and balance right now. I want to do it tomorrow based on the nav log that I pull down. So once we get that new data and the update, am I going to fly at 3? Am I going to fly at 7? What is our fuel burn looking like? I'll be able to put it in. But if we wanted just to see one based on what we thought it would be, and we hit the calculate button, so we can easily see we're somewhere way in the middle of our weight and balance. So I'm going to cut the video here, and maybe we'll pick up in the morning.
7 hours later.
We looked at the weather. We looked at what's going on in both places. Weather looks great. Definitely not IFR conditions, but hey, we will file it IFR anyway. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to our item. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say, I want to file. Press here when done. And FltPlan will be filed. So our FltPlan will get filed, and we are good to go. So we're going to go over to our nav logs, and we're going to refresh the nav log so it pulls in the most up-to-date data and any more information that may have taken place. So our nav log is now up to date. Got our route. That is the route we're on. Of course, that route could change. So anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, if you guys like it, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and maybe comment or give me some feedback on whether or not you want to see more of this, you want to see something specific in FltPlan. That would be awesome. So take care.